And she had just let Fern wander around at home that day. So I mean, I guess if you actually want to have her interact with like Remy or anyone first, you can. If she's shut up in the room the whole time, that's also
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah, Remy wouldn't jump at it, but I'm gonna leave it to Ella if she comes out of the room. I'm okay with pushing it out.
Fern will not start anything. She's
Okay.
definitely going to be this.
Okay.
What is Cassie doing?
Then after coming home, she'll, slip into her room and she'll see Fern there, I assume. So she'll, put on a bit of a smile and, close the door and say, "Hey, can we have that talk now?"
Okay.
All right. So Cassie will just, glance around a bit and then take a seat on the floor, cross-legged and, hands in her pockets, her jacket pockets, and say, "Go ahead and just sit right there. And I'm going to be talking at you for a bit. So just hear me out, okay?"
She did it straighter.
Okay. All right. So I care about you, right? Good. Fern, you really could have gotten hurt back there at the base. I know what you were trying to do. I know you weren't trying to get in the way or anything. But it was scary for me. You came out of nowhere and he almost hit you.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I haven't shown enough affection over the time we've known each other, or maybe this just isn't my thing, but even aside from the everyday little things, even when it really matters, you don't really listen to me. I've just been more and more aware of that. Like at the contest center, I told you to, stay back, and you ran right forward into the fight instead. When I learned that my mom was captured, I told you to stay here at the apartment. And instead, without anyone knowing, you went to the Team Rocket base, and then you somehow showed up at the motel. I told you to stay at the motel, and instead you appeared in the rocket base again. I told you then to stay and guard the door to the bedroom where my mom was. And then you jumped out. Just one more time.
What? No. No.
So
The mother had left by then.
I'm aware as a player. She told her, though, specifically to guard the door.
Behind left.
So I get it, Fern. Like I'm not really cut out for this sort of thing. I suck at being a trainer, and I'm aware that I haven't done the best job I could have for you. So
Problem.
Okay, just let me finish, okay? She'll take a moment and breathe for a second and slowly nod, and then she'll reach into her, or she'll rather pull out from her pocket Fern's Pokeball, and she'll set that down on the floor between them. You know what this is, right?
Yes.
Do you know what it means?
You mean to go in there?
While I was out today, I had this deactivated. It is no longer registered to you. I figure, Fern, from this day forward, I am no longer your trainer.
You don't want me either. It's okay. I need to
I
stay
figure
with Con.
instead, assuming that you are okay with it, and she'll reach back into her pocket, and this time she pulls out a sleek black ball with red, gold, and white accents, and she'll set that down in front of her instead, and she'll say, "If you're okay with it, from this day forward, you and I will be friends." So what this means for us is that you no longer have to listen to me. I'm going to do everything that I can to provide for you as best as possible, but I'm aware that I can't always do that. Sometimes I don't know the best for you, or sometimes you might just see things that I don't, so I'll still try to tell you if I disagree with something, but you've grown so much since I first met you. And I figure at this point, you can be more independent now. Okay, so now it's your turn. You're free to talk if you want.
Then we'll go, like, one hit you. No. My fault.
Whosever fault it was, it doesn't matter at this point. Again, I'm sorry for, all the times that I must not have made it clear to you that, the things Butch did or whatever, those weren't okay. For
They weren't?
making you think this long that I would hit you. So
That's what
for
they
my
did.
failings there, I apologize.
Frank kind of goes, it's like, tries to, like, mime bad, and then, that's how bad. That's not it, right?
Like I said, Vern, try to forget everything that you learned in that base about good and bad, because they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
And like there's like little pointing.
He's pointing at what?
She kind of grabs like a little book out, like opens it, and go, like, kind of like acting like if, like pointing at you, and then goes like that, like a teacher would, type thing, and then points at her.
You teach me and I teach you.
If that's what you want.
Like not
Like
like
I
teach her to
said.
read, like just teach her what.
Yeah. No, like I said, you and I are friends, so we've got a long ways going together. So I'll try to teach you better from now on, if that's what you want. Okay?
She kind of goes up to you and like tries to nuzzle you, like tentatively. It's like, is this okay?
And yeah, Cassie won't be able to help but grin a little bit, and she'll wrap an arm around Fern's neck and rest her cheek on the top of her head, and like, yes, this is just fine.
Yeah, she like goes, having a little bit of that like young puppy happiness again, but then she'll like calm down and go, okay, I don't want to push it.
All right, well, I think that it's about time we get some dinner. You feeling hungry? All right, let's go, girl.
She goes,
All right, that's all I have.
Okay. So now you guys are going to meet somewhere at the park. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. You guys will be meeting at the park at sundown, whatever time you guys are supposed to be meeting.
Yep.
Kyle will be there with Tiffany.
Tiff will be on his arm.
He probably asked Tiffany if she wanted to ride.
Oh,
So
obviously, yes.
she will ride. I mean, you guys will chat, I'm sure, on the way up there, and you guys will arrive together. Kyle, I should point out, is not in uniform. Almost like he did that on purpose.
What is he in?
Yes. Well, you see, it's ripped off in the back of the car.
Oh, I was just figuring like a nice gray cashmere.
Aw.
Yeah, so as everyone arrives, you'll see Molly kind of standing somewhat in the middle of this big open field. Bullet is nowhere in sight, but as you get closer, you realize that she's holding his ball. That he's inside the ball.
Okay.
He's just standing there waiting.
And so, sorry, did Molly tell everyone to bring their Pokemon along?
Yes.
Okay.
It
Ian,
was
Then
out
Cassie
roaming
would have her
free.
ball as well.
Kyle will nod at Chase and say, Ian,
Good to see you back.
keeping out of trouble?
Oh yeah, feeling good.
He tilts
He's
his head. Don't lie to me, Ian.
Those are
I
the
can tell
medical
when you're
skills.
I can tell when you're lying to me.
At that point, Ian unzips his hoodie, and he opens it up, and there are bloodstains on his shirt. He's like, "Nah, I feel like crap."
What did you do?
You don't want to know what he did.
As one of the two healers of the party, yes, I do.
We can deal with it before Halloween. I'm fine.
Arms are crossed, foot is tapping.
I'm fine. I'm still standing, right?
I'm not a doctor, Ian, but that could get infected.
Yeah, my point.
Okay. The body has a way of fighting infections. It makes you stronger.
Or if you die.
Yeah.
I mean, close to death also makes you stronger. It makes you remember why you're living.
This is why I go prematurely gray, Ian. I am hurting you. I don't know how. I'm going to hurt
Make
you.
sure if you
As
do
we know,
that you don't cause an injury, please.
though, Chase will do Chase things. So,
Yes,
exactly.
that worries me.
why exactly are we here, Molly?
Right, for a reason.
So, out of character, all the Pokemon are outside of their balls, right?
They can be,
Oh.
yeah. Sniffles will be
Yeah.
there too. Sniffles. will be
except for Bullet, he's still in his ball.
there. Okay.
Aw. Showtime, make an entrance.
So Molly looks at all of them and she says, we could all be going into hell together. You all know that, right?
Hopefully to hell and back.
That's true.
I don't sure.
Well, Ian mentioned something. He said that we're family.
Aww.
And well, I do consider you all family now. And she looks at Kyle. Yeah, even Kyle. And she
Even the afterthought.
mhm.
Kicks Cassie. Shush.
And she says, I didn't agree with the way he said it, but Ian was right in Castilia. We are a team, and we don't have separate lives anymore. And I think there's something very important that we need to establish before we go to Johto. And with that, she'll step back. She'll actually take off her bag and she'll set it down. And she'll take a few steps back and she'll let Bullet out of his ball.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And she looks at Bullet and she says, she kind of puts her hands in her pockets. She says, Bullet, I need a rush.
That Bullet seems to perk up, his face lights a little bit, and he will start going.
And Molly will go too. She takes off sprinting in the opposite
Okay.
direction. All right.
Okay.
So I imagine that Bullet is flying like near the ground, flying toward her. Molly will keep running. She'll maneuver herself between his two wings. She'll grab the reins on the saddle. She'll take a little jump and she'll pull herself onto the saddle at the same time shouting at him to go high.
And he will spiraling up into the air.
Okay, and then as they're spiraling up, Molly will keep urging him to go higher. And she'll look down when she realizes they're at a good height, and then she'll ask Bullet to level out a little bit, and she'll kind of pat him from behind, and she'll say, "Bullet, I'm trusting you." And she jumps off the back.
Ooh.
Okay.
Free falling back down now.
Okay.
And Bullet will watch. I'm just kidding. Oh, she can
This did not
fly
end
now.
well.
Is that...
This did not end the way I thought it would.
no. So he'll turn and like spiral down again and
Yeah.
start plummeting down after her, basically.
So she's
Intending
she's,
to meet her speed and then like match it.
Yeah. So she's holding herself kind of like a skydiver, trying to
Yeah.
slow her descent a little bit.
Yeah.
And when he comes back down beside her, she'll reach out to the reins again. She'll pull herself back into the saddle again, and then order him to land.
He does so, and yay, no one died.
What else should we have rolled for this?
No, because she has the edge to let her mount flawlessly.
Okay.
Nice.
So Molly jumps off. She's very pumped at what they just did, and she looks at the group and she says, I wanted to show you guys just how much I trust Bullet. And she looks at Bullet. She says, Bullet, do you trust me too?
He'll, widest grin, happy set eyes. Let's quickly nod.
She says, you'll go with me into Johto.
And a wink salute.
You'll attack me if I tell you to.
At that, he seems to hesitate a moment, eyes opening, but after advances, nod.
And she says, let's see if you will. And she steps back. and she tells Bullet, I want you to fly in that direction and then come back, use Brave Bird on me.
Okay.
Oh, his grin vanishes.
She says,
Now, Abby quickly glances at the group, then back at her, and cocks his head, are you sure?
she says, I trust you, Bullet. I'm asking you to trust me too. I wouldn't ask you to do this if there wasn't a reason for it.
He still doesn't seem happy, but he'll shift his position and he'll start to fly again.
Mm-hmm. As he flies away, Molly is going to use Double Team.
Mm-hmm.
So there, I want to imagine that Molly is standing there, and then suddenly she splits into two Mollys. There's a mirror image of Molly standing next to her.
Mm-hmm.
And then both of the Mollys look at the group. She looks at Noir first. She says, Noir, use Kinesis on him when he comes back.
Okay.
She looks at Cassie. Cassie, you still have a smoke ball, right?
Yeah.
Use it right now.
All right, she'll fish it out of her pack.
And by the way, Molly is wearing a shield on her arm. It's a light shield, which offers +2 evasion.
Okay.
Okay. So I have the notes down. It's Smoke Ball is -3 accuracy. Kinesis is -4 accuracy. Light Shield is +2 accuracy. Double Team is +2 accuracy. +2 evasion. Evasion.
Mhm.
Light Shield and Double Team are +2 evasion, and Molly already has 4 speed evasion.
Mm-hmm.
Going by her speed stat, she should have about 10 evasion, and then whatever is subtracted.
Watch me get a critical.
Go ahead.
Don't get a critical.
Or for
You
fail.
really
Trusting
trust
you
her.
to not get a critical. Go ahead, roll.
All right, so yeah, he comes back to the confusion of the smoke, but he assumes that she's in there. And Brave Birds. Oh, I got 18. He got an 18.
Is that bad? Because if it's bad, Noir can use probability control to change it
Roll.
as well.
Sure.
To
Yeah, you
roll?
can do that.
I'm just pretty sure it would hit Molly otherwise.
Okay, reroll. Using Kinesis, but judgment says a bit more.
15.
Better.
Better.
So that should be okay. So Molly has.
Your base of I thought you had 14. Did he still barely break it?
Let's see. Hold on.
because it's 3 from the smoke, plus your 4, plus another 4 from kinesis.
It's more like -4 for bullet, but yeah. Plus
Oh,
it's
yeah.
easier.
It's more
Yeah,
like
it's
-4 for
minus-
bullet.
Yeah, it's -4 for kinesis. It's -3. So yeah, she's gonna evade it at that point.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, because
So-
double team too. Yeah.
double
Double
team.
team.
Yeah.
Oh, just
Yep.
barely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, nice. All right.
We're
So-
like 1 point.
So he'll swoop through. I imagine he'll clear away the smoke. He'll see the 2 mollies standing there. And she'll run after him. She'll tell him to land, and she'll go up and she'll hug him. She'll say, "I'm sorry, Bullet. I know that must have been hard."
Yeah, he does. He looks immensely relieved, and like when he landed, he's just kind of like onto the ground. Like,
Oh.
I know that must have been hard, Bullet, but I did have a reason for it. And she'll ask him to walk back with her toward the group again.
so he'll crawl the way he does.
Oh.
His evolution made him lose his legs.
Yes.
Yes.
So she looks at the group and she says, when Ian said that we don't have separate lives anymore, he was right. And that means we can't fight separately anymore. We're going into a place we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if our Pokemon will be forced to attack us, or if they'll have to pretend to attack us or something. But I just want to let you all know that I trust you all to use your abilities to the best you can, so that we all work together and we all come out of this. And I think this is a good time for us to talk about strategizing. How can we work better together in a fight?
That was an insane segue. You're spending way too much time with Chase.
Agreed.
Very-
Valid point.
No, that was respectable. Okay. So, team planning then?
Yep.
Oh,
Team
best
planning.
part of team planning, I have to say, is that took more than Nez just to make sure that when hit, bang. Not that
Well, I didn't-
powerful.
Well, I didn't know you had that at first, so I'm I'm glad you used something that even I didn't know about.
There's a lot Noir doesn't even know about herself.
Hmm. And I think it's important for us all to establish what we can do and how we can help each other.
I'll start by saying that attack would never have hit you.
I know it wouldn't have, Ian.
You didn't tell me to do anything though, so I didn't.
I knew that you would try to stop it anyway.
Well, for the record, I can't do shit without my gear.
Better start building, Cassie. Molly actually wanted to talk to the lieutenant about
Privately?
not privately, in front of the.
Go
in front
ahead.
of everyone.
Go ahead and ask. Yeah. Ask him whatever you want.
So this is all. This is our lives are complicated. You know that, right?
Oh yes, I know very well.
I mean, I just jumped off a Crobat to prove a point.
It's very brave of you.
That's how much I trust my Pokemon, and that's how much I trust the team. And she turns back to the team again. She says, I would do anything for any of you. I just want you all to know that.
Mm.
Okay? She turns back to Kyle again and she says, I was wondering, the things that we do, like the Team Rocket base, and by the way, I'm sorry we didn't, talk about that beforehand, but the things that we're going to get into, it could get a little tricky for us. So I was wondering, is there a way you could maybe hire us?
That was the angle I was using to get us past the wall, yes.
Ooh. Well, I'm glad you thought of that before I did.
I can be
It
useful
just-
sometimes.
Hmm.
Yeah, just it would help our cause, I think, to have an official out. But seems like you've already thought of that, and I'm glad to hear it.
You all have had a lot of leeway all throughout this. There's a lot of things that have been going on that I have been overseeing behind the scenes to make sure that you have the ability to do whatever it is you all are supposed to be doing.
Well, I appreciate that. I really do. And I really am thankful for it. I really am.
You're very welcome.
Is there a way we could maybe go to visit the Pearl's house? At the Pearl's house, sorry, the Ray's house. Is there a way for us to visit the Ray's house? Maybe we could get a scent sample for Sniffles.
I'm sure we could. Yes.
I mean, just anything to help find their location.
We can certainly go some point before we leave, yes.
Okay. It's a start, you know.
And every little bit will help. If they are still well beyond those walls, we'll find them.
Molly nods and she says, I'll do anything to get them back. I really will.
I know, Miss Moon. I know.
And Molly will actually turn away from the lieutenant. She'll go to Tiffany and Cassie, and she'll pull out Butch and Cassidy's uniforms. First of all,
Yeah, if
I
it
am
weren't
not
for the fact
putting
I know
this
whose
on.
bodies these came off of, I would be marveling at them right now.
well, they seem to be very defensive. I figure you could probably use them for inspiration or something.
It's gonna look super suspicious if I'm seen with this, though.
Well, sweetie, that's why we diet. We take the R off.
Hmm.
I could let this seam out, let that seam in. Few different things I could do with it.
I did have a question about the Team Rocket base, if I may.
Go on.
Tiffany, if you remember, I mentioned that they were in possession of a plate. That was one of the things that we were
Yes.
scouring up and down in the base, and we couldn't find one. I don't suppose any of you...
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't know you guys would be right. You were looking for those too. Good news. It's in our possession. Which
Excellent.
I realize now I haven't told anyone yet.
No, you haven't.
Molly left the dream world a lot earlier than I was expecting.
You could have hung out.
We had things to do. Chase was saying he was going to wake us up at 6 in the morning.
Oh, sweetie, I
toxic
was not
plate?
up at 6 a.m.
Yeah, the toxic plate. So we got one.
Yay!
Good. Then whatever Team Omni wants with them, they'll be protected then.
And Kyle, just to kind of clear the air a bit, I guess. Yeah, so I heard you weren't thrilled about not being included. And I don't know how aware you were of the whole situation. I mean, whoever caught you up.
I just think that I could have made things even easier for you, not harder.
The thing was just, they said that, they told me to go alone. And if that wasn't the case, they could have killed my mom. And, whether or not they ever intended to do any physical harm to her, that was just something that I couldn't risk. The power was all theirs at that point in time. And while I might not agree with everything you do, I think that you're one of the few cops that I would actually trust to do their job. And honestly, from my perspective, I trusted you to get a lot more heavily involved if you were to have known, and I just couldn't have you stop me. So,
I understand.
for what it's worth, I'm sorry. I don't regret my decision, but I'm sorry that it caused you guys trouble.
Understood. Are we good, Miss Pine?
I'm good if you're good.
He holds out his hand for a shake.
Yeah, she'll take it and shake.
Also, I've been doing a bit of research on those plates, and I think I have a good idea of what exactly they are capable of. I don't know what that has to do with what Team Omni is thinking. But apparently, the toxic plate has a number of abilities. One, if it's held by a Pokemon or by a human trainer, it enhances the damage output of same-typed abilities 10%. In addition to that, it also grants the Pokemon or the human special extra abilities if they choose. So out of character, what happens is if you have one of the plates equipped, you can temporarily replace any of your existing abilities or powers with another power from that type of relatively equal base damage and or effects.
So when you say power, do you mean like an attack move?
Correct.
Okay.
You can replace anything that you currently possess with any, so for example, for toxic, any poison attack that you would like that is equal in damage base or effect as a move that you currently have in possession.
Cool. Very cool.
Now, character, I think you actually have 2 plates, not just one.
Yes, they do. In character, how big are the plates, by the way?
Yeah, that went into a backpack with a lot of other stuff.
Yay, big?
Well, I mean, I was just wondering.
Yay,
Okay,
big,
yeah.
I would say. It's hard to tell in the game, but...
So they did get to... Kyle might learn about the second one later.
He hasn't asked you for them, has he? Cool.
Pardon?
The Arceus plates are now in your journal.
Nice.
That's
Oh,
what I
cool,
just
thank you.
explained.
Yay!
Keep them safe, Miss Pine.
Oh, I'll do what I can. But while we're here, Dream Team, do we want to talk a little bit more about the plates while we're on the subject? Again, things left kind of quickly last time.
Do we have a safe place for them?
Nope. I mean, where's safe when they're willing to use explosives and kill people?
And kidnap and brainwash.
Yep. Kidnapping and brainwashing is a horrible thing.
Mm-hmm.
Pauses like about to say something, then stops, but looks at Ian, then looks away.
Out of character, Riz, when Cassie was downloading files off of the computer, did she delete those files from the computer, or she just made a copy of the files?
She just copied.
Okay.
So like the stuff of her still being there, or like having been there, or whatever.
So all the
stuff
data is
about
still
her
in the...
Dad,
okay.
it's all still on the computer too. So they could have had access to it. I don't know if Tim like locked it again before leaving, or...
I don't think he necessarily would have if the cops
Okay,
were
so
there.
then yeah, they would have had access to all the same
So
stuff.
I think that Kyle would actually say something at that point, and he will say, Miss Pine, I also, while we were investigating the base, we also found some things that concerned yourself and your family.
Oh. Go on.
We found files on the director's computer about your father. Apparently they were very interested in something about Dr. Pine, Professor Pine.
A lot of people were.
We found some images that suggest that apparently they were after something in Professor Pine's lab somewhere, it looked like. Underneath his desk. I don't know where such a lab is, though.
Okay. Did they say anything about progress they'd made on it, or
Just that they were aware that you may have possessed the ability to gain access to said whatever thing that they're looking for.
no? Yeah, I think I might know what that means then. Okay. Well, if we want to try to get a jump on another plate, we might be able to.
You have reason to believe that that's where your father might have kept the last plate? Or the plate that he had in his possession?
I have no
Supposedly?
other idea where. I mean, if he supposedly had one and it was still somewhere in his possession, why not under a desk in a hidden laboratory beneath a laboratory?
Just something worth looking into, possibly.
For sure. Sure, yeah.
If Team Omni is certainly looking for the plates, and if they catch wind of the fact that the Team Rocket base has been cleared out, I'm sure that will be brought to their attention sooner than later. Especially
Then-
since it's been on the news this entire time.
Yeah. Which, by the way, thanks for not bringing us up. Well, in that case, then, do we want to go check out the lab sooner rather than later? Would that interfere too much with everyone's plans?
Just tell me what day and I can tell you if it's going to be a problem or not, sweetie. I have Saturday, Sunday free this week, so
Can we check it out tonight?
I could go tonight.
So could I.
sure.
Sure.
I can't. Gotta get back to Fabian. Like,
Well, I mean, we'd have to stop back at my apartment anyway on the way. Could
yeah,
we maybe
like,
drop Fabian off somewhere? Or do you really think you need to
Cassie,
stay?
what about your mom? Is she gonna be okay with my apartment by herself, or
I don't know. But I've been out here this whole time.
We don't
so-
necessarily all have to go to investigate this location, technically.
True. Okay, in that case then, Noir, you stay with your brother, and Tiffany, could you watch my mom?
all right?
thank you.
Oh, more time to get stories.
Oh, God. You're lucky
The story about
Chase
the
isn't
mashed
a
peas,
desirable
though,
babysitter.
Hilarious.
The what?
Mashed peas.
We're not going to get into that here. Kyle, how about we get going?
Sure. I can get us to Staravia to fly us there.
Cool. She'll nod.
How
and
many
then-
do we need?
I can just ride Bullet. That's fine.
Okay, so for those of you who are going, you will fly back to the Pine household. And Cassie, you will lead the group down to the basement.
And for the record, too, she has her storage case again with all that entails, unless
Sure.
something happened to it.
No,
Okay, cool, good. I'm glad. That would suck.
no, nothing happened to it.
So she'll be wearing like the same gear she had when she went to the Team Rocket base.
Sure.
I'll go on.
All right. You're going to go lead everybody down to the lab. For the most part, it's been undisturbed. There's dust all over the place. However, you do notice that there appears to be some footsteps down here from before.
Footsteps or footprints?
Footprints, excuse me.
Okay.
You assume that these footprints occurred when they took those snapshots that you found on the computer.
Okay.
And there is there's marks on the floor that suggest that the desk was pushed to the side around the same time. Kyle and you will help move the desk over, but lo and behold, there is a mark underneath it, a circular mark underneath it.
All right. So she'll glance back at the others, and her gaze will rest on Kyle in the end, and she'll say, "I assume this was it."
Looks like it. Do you know
Okay.
this key that they're talking about?
I have an idea. you might think it's stupid. So she'll get down on one knee and sling her back down again and pull out her magic Pokeball.
Nice. All right. And do you put it against the circle?
She'll give it a shake first. Say, "Is this where you want to be?" Tell me what it says.
Signs point to yes.
All right, this ball is magical, guys. It really is. Okay. Yeah, she'll set it in the indentation then.
You set into the indentation, and almost immediately, once it gets set in, the ball flashes with lights, and it starts to rotate and vibrate and flash like lights and rotating and buzzing, and then the floor starts to that floor like I would say a 1 by 1 foot square of it starts to rise up towards the ceiling. And then once it reaches about yay high, the cover of this box, this stone-looking box, slides over. It's actually made of steel, excuse me. Slides over. And there are two things that you will see inside of this box. One, the first thing that probably catches your eye, is a plate. It is the iron plate. The other thing you see is a journal of some sort, or a science journal, as in like notes that a scientist would write in for research.
Kyle, care to do the honors?
This is your father's stuff. I don't want to touch it.
Oh, you don't touch the journal, but you can touch the plate.
He'll take the plate. Well, fortunately, Team Omni doesn't have their hands on this. He'll hand it back to Cassie.
She'll just look over it a little bit and
It's
she'll
really
figure out-
shiny. It's very shiny.
Oh, good. You
There's
always
some
did like
photo-
shiny things.
There's also some photographs that are there. There's a shot of your dad when he was a lot younger, maybe fresh out of college, along with this other guy who you recognize as Wade, along with this woman who you don't recognize, but Tiffany would recognize as a younger version of her mom. But they're taking like a photo.
Sure wouldn't recognize her at all from TV.
You probably
Also,
would.
she looks a lot like Tiffany.
She looks a lot like Tiffany. Sure.
Would have seen her in the vision too with Leaves.
Yeah. But they're there
True,
taking a
yeah.
picture. It looks like some sort of ruin, some sort of expedition, and you can actually see Wade and your dad holding up the plate, holding up the iron plate.
Is there anything on the back of the picture?
I don't think there's anything in the back of the picture.
Okay.
I don't think anything would have been written back of there.
Cool. So the plate, that picture, the journal, anything else?
Those are the only things I believe that are inside of that box. That's whatever
You
it was.
believe?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe. I believe that's the only thing.
Well,
of
I'm just
interest.
like, are you going to be wrong?
Yes. What are you not telling
I don't
us?
know. I might be wrong.
Quick,
I
it's
don't
know
lemon
anything
juice.
else.
Put it in front of a heater.
I'll roll perception if that's what you're hinting
No.
at.
I don't think there's any. There would be anything of interest in there. Anything
Okay.
else of interest is what I guess
Okay.
what I meant to say.
Then she'll just slip the picture into like the front cover of the journal, and slip that and the plate into her backpack.
What's in the journal? Kyle asks.
I don't know for sure. Haven't looked.
Do you think we should?
I will tonight.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Well done, team. That was the easiest plate we've gotten so far.
Hey, don't jinx it. You never know what could happen.
Oh, that's true. We still have to walk to the door.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to do one more dream world scene.
Okay. Well, in that case, we can go to the dream world. My question then to Cassie, is Cassie going to look at the journal before you guys go into the dream world?
Well, she would look at it before going to bed, so yes.
Sure. All right, so this is the contents of the journal. So your dad, as you know, did a lot of research on Pokemon evolution. One of the things he wanted to look into is if there was a way for Pokemon to evolve in such a way that they can have more than just 2 types. In theory, there is a way to give Pokemon 3, 4, possibly more types. There are sketches in here of a device that in theory could imbue Pokemon to have types beyond just the 2 that they normally would get naturally.
So one is all. I mean, go on.
Now, there are 2 different ways that this device can get the energy required to be able to provide additional types to said Pokemon. Now, one of the versions is very controversial. In fact, there's notes on there talking about how Richard Aspen was a little appalled to see this specific theory, but like your dad says, it's just a theory.
Okay.
The theory is that one way to provide power for this device is through aura. Specifically the auras of Pokemon of a specific type that you want to imbue to another Pokemon. Get enough lightning type Pokemon, for example, together, and get enough of their aura. That can then be used in the device to give another Pokemon that type. The other way is to provide some sort of energy from some sort of object of immense power that is type-based. For example, an Arceus plate could definitely provide the same thing without needing to have to go through aura.
So in theory, like, the toxic plate alone could potentially give a Pokemon the poison typing.
Right, if this device was ever made, correct.
Does it say anything about, like, whether the plate would be, like, used up?
No, it would not.
Okay, interesting.
No.
Very interesting.
There's been a lot of calculations. Your dad doesn't know how many maximum types can be given to a Pokemon. Obviously, the more types you try to jam into a Pokemon, then the more risk the Pokemon will be in. But, in theory, you could possibly give a Pokemon all the types, in theory, in one.
Yeah, yes, all in one.
Oh dear.
Cool. I mean, that makes sense for their name. All right. Well, she's gonna be staying up all night, until like she. Well, I was gonna say that I won't make that assumption. Never mind. But she will stay up quite a while, so people will get to enjoy some normal dreams first before the dream world
But
happens.
you'll eventually go to sleep?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Otherwise...
No, that's here's the thing. I will admit, I was about to be like, no, she's gonna pop a soldier pill and stay up. I mean, it's like we left the dream world so soon the last time, but then I'm like, wait, Roma wants something,
Okay.
and I'm a good team player, so.
All right, so you guys will go to bed that night. At that point, the door with the magic Pokeball actually will be glowing.
Aw. Take it
Good
with
news,
success.
by the way, Tiffany. Yeah, we did it.
Woo! Good job.
Let's see.
Well,
Do you want to
go.
open the door?
See what it is.
Just
Oh,
beautifully.
yes, she will do that. Honestly, it's gonna be kind of sad seeing that door close. It's her bedroom.
Aw. So from that one, you will see the silhouette of Lunala. That was the moon door, I believe.
Mhm.
And Lunala will now grant you the ability Mirage, which lets you create an illusion covering a cubic area 2 meters on each side. The illusion can emulate visual and auditory senses only. Seeing through the illusion is a DC 15 perception check with a +5 bonus. If the illusion is emulating something familiar to the observer, the illusion may be sustained for up to 10 minutes as a swift's action each round. I'm just going to say you don't even have to do that. You don't even have to.
Nice.
You don't have to maintain it with a swift, but you can suppress it if you'd like to suppress it.
Okay.
For whatever reason.
About the illusion then, so we got the dimensions of it. Does it have to be static? Like, does it remain in that dimension you initially made it? Or does it just mean, like, you can't make a Waylord?
You can't make a Waylord, but you can...
So, like, I could make the illusion of, say, Nano Noir and have her, like, walking around a full room or whatever.
Yes. Yes. She can walk around. The size of the illusion cannot exceed that dimension, but the illusion itself can move around.
Okay.
As long as, I will have to say, as long as you have line of sight. As long as you have line of sight, you can do that.
Okay.
And the door shuts and disappears. 3 doors left.
All right, making progress.
Yep.
So, something I didn't get to talk about before because... I'm sorry, Molly, I don't mean to
Keep
pin
going.
this on you. But because we left so early last time... by the way, really badass what you did with Bullet, I'm just saying. Anyway, the door with the pills. I actually think I might kind of have something on that one now.
Well, let's hear it, because that one's been a bigger mystery for me.
Yeah, and can we go and open that door? Out of character, I mean.
You can open the door, yeah.
Yeah, Molly will go open it.
It's not glowing,
Yeah.
so you haven't
Right, so we're not gonna
completed
get-
anything. But
But
you
we
can
can
open
see
it and
it.
see the pills, yeah.
And so seeing the pills again, like, is it confirmed? Like, yeah, that's a
Yes.
match.
Yes, it's a
Okay.
match.
So then, Cassie, looking at them, will nod a little bit and say, yeah, from what I can tell, these pills seem to be the same ones that actually contain the Pokérus virus. They were used to sort of create a super serum, if you will.
Go on. To what end?
Right? Well, it's my knowledge, as out of character I believe is her knowledge, the serum came from an academy. Correct? I'm not overstepping my bounds. She knows that, right? Okay, yeah.
They would have notes, and you know the name of the academy. Yes.
Okay, cool.
And you know where the academy is. Yes.
She will present such.
Mm.
So chances are it's somewhere on campus.
Well, Cassie the co-ed, you at least look the right age for it. Unless this is a younger child's academy.
I don't think so, no. Be kind of odd to have super serum.
No, I meant more going on to the base and finding it.
It's weird that it's Molly's door. Have you ever been to an academy?
I was like, nope, never. Can't say I have.
Maybe
have
once
you-
Molly caught the Pokérus.
Have
Well,
you been around
uh,
Pokérus? Maybe Bullet had it at one point?
Well, you know what? Actually, the day of the explosion, there was a young boy who tried to send a live Pokemon who had Pokérus to his friend in Kalos.
Oh,
Yeah, and
Think that's a connection?
I suppose so. It's better than nothing. But that one, I don't remember. I don't remember anything about pills or an academy or anything.
Out of character, is the academy in Kalos?
It's
No, the academy
near
is
Victory Road.
near Victory Road.
Oh, okay.
Was your boss sending packages to this academy?
I mean, we deliver packages wherever, but this live Pokemon are prohibited.
that's a no-no.
Yeah, live Pokemon are prohibited. We're not that kind of
What
delivery
about-
service.
What
So are
about
bombs.
pills? Would
I mean,
your boss?
I wouldn't know. I don't know. I don't ask too many details about the contents of the packages.
Have you ever seen any packages go to Demon from your work?
Out of character, has she?
I'm sure she has. I'm sure you have delivered packages there before.
Well, yeah. I mean, just things to some of the students. They ordered things online, or they got a package from mom or whatever. Some things.
Anything regular that occurs on a regular basis?
Out of character?
I wouldn't say regular basis. No.
Not that I've seen.
I mean, there's definitely a large amount of packages that are delivered right prior to the start of the school year, but that's normal.
That's normal.
You would
yeah.
you would imagine they'd get a lot more beginning the school year before.
Didn't
Very-
seem out of the ordinary.
Okay. Cassie, any ideas?
I think at some point we just need to go there ourselves.
Pre or post Johto? Just more the question.
Post, absolutely.
Okay. Well, it's more. We have 2 weeks. The academy is something
No,
we could.
we're using those 2 weeks to prepare. We're going into Johto.
I know. Just throwing it out there.
I mean, I have some educational videos on Johto if you need any.
I've been showing them to you. He seems to vary between taking it well and being horrified.
That was like 8 years ago, right?
Is that out of character or is that in character?
That's
Jo-
in character. She doesn't believe
Johto
it.
fell
Johto is 10.
10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Johto fell 10 years ago.
No one
Yeah,
doesn't know that at this time. She's kind of.
She's new to this
annoying.
dimension. Give her a break.
Yeah.
It's been a decade at this point.
Oh, okay. Decade. Okay. So that's. Yep, need to remember that. Weird. Being there. When it was not 10 years ago. It's weird. It's not
To the
here.
academy
You
or.
guys. Oh no, Johto.
Okay.
Like it's weird.
What was it like?
Very different. So, any other topics to discuss?
Yeah, Cam.
What about camp?
What about Cam?
What about Cam?
He runs a Team Rocket organization from where Noir's from.
Oh,
He's come over here and introduced 2 characters to us that seem to hide quite a bit. They work with Darkrai, which is the counter of Cresselia, and of which this beautiful domain is hers. Is
The counter
Noir-
thing is iffy, though.
Yeah, they did kind of, help us. They didn't
Sure
have
they
to.
did. No, they didn't.
And I have actually kind of been emailing back and forth, and Charlie's quite nice.
I don't think they know what they're. I don't think they know. If they're being played by Darkrai, they don't know. And if Cam is who Noir says he or she is, I think
Potentially
they're
Cam's
not going to
okay.
know. Are you sure? But you seem to not want to talk about him. So they either hurt you
Cam's judgment is
Or they
always
abandon
the best,
you.
but sometimes
or you're not letting go of them. Did they come after you? Are you still a weapon, Noir?
uh, Cam's from where I'm from, so there's that.
Did he know
But
what they did to you?
there's the reason why I got out. There's also the reason why I got into that situation as well. So complicated.
Did Cam know the doctor that was at the sushi bar?
Not that particular one. Because one from where I'm from was his dad.
Okay.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were they working on that so conveniently ties back into Johto? What are they doing on your world?
Well, I didn't see it ties back to Johto. Like, what they were working on, I didn't really have much of a big idea of until it was happening and the big whipping thing and killing people or doing some weird stuff. I was like, I don't really like that, so I broke it.
Did something really bad happen to your world? Isn't that what you said in the past?
A big weapony thing?
Yeah, it's just like really big and like turn people to stone in Pokemon,
What?
and everyone,
Wait.
like Miles died. It was really dramatic. Ugh.
Yeah.
Can you go into more detail about that?
Yeah.
It's a big weapon. It was like
Okay, so it was a big
Technical-
weapon that turned people to stone. Like literal
Yeah.
stone?
felt stony. Like their
Okay,
life
they felt
was drained
stony.
from them.
Alright, how many people did the weapon thingy hit?
I didn't really get very far, but like the place was in ruins, to be honest. It
What?
didn't look very good. Well, I don't know how far they used the weapon. It was.
So
if
it's not
anything,
a,
reminded
like
me
a handheld
of-
thing. It's
Well,
a
no,
big
it's
weapony
kind of,
thing.
if anything, I think it kind of reminded me. Have you ever heard those stories when you were a kid? During the great interregion wars of yesteryear, and it was all stopped when King of Carlos was like, built a weapon and everyone got scared, so it didn't happen anymore.
So they made that weapon?
You can't remind me of that. It was really big and it looked like the pictures they used to draw and go in little history
Well-
books where it's just like big weapon, yay! Don't
I guess
do
thank
interregion
Arceus
war.
we don't have that in our dimension.
Yeah.
We would be so screwed.
Would Cam be able to make one?
Would Cam be able to make one?
I don't
'Cause we're
think
us.
So, camel archaeologists, not a weapon scientists.
How can you
think
get
so.
access to Cam? I think it's time for you
I
to
don't know.
find them.
Apparently, they've been here for like years and didn't bother showing up. So that was interesting.
You don't wanna go
Disappointed he
looking?
didn't show up, Noir, or
Considering, yeah, like I thought, stuff never mentioned. Perfectly a good excuse for not helping out. After all he did.
I mean, it's good he didn't show up if
It's
he's
been here the whole
capable
time.
of capable of building a.
can I roll intuition?
Sure.
I mean, don't you think so? If he's capable of building a death ray, isn't it good he hasn't
Exactly.
shown us?
Build the Death Ray. It's more like the organization that he and his
Oh, that
dad
allowed and
were
encouraged
part of.
building the death ray.
Well, he defied his father by like saving me.
What is Tiffany's intuition roll for? Just out of
Trying
curiosity.
to figure out the relationship between Cam Noir.
You can probably get that they were with the 25. I would say that you would know that there was definitely something romantic between the two of them.
Are you still in love with them?
Oh, hey, let's not jump to conclusions now.
No,
we were
let's-
just being told how
Lock size
crazy
on
Cam
Noir.
was.
Are you?
What? Yes, Tiffany?
Are you still in love with Cam?
What, okay?
You are. Don't play games. It doesn't become you.
Oh, okay. Cam. Well, we knew each other quite well. We were almost
Uh-huh.
married once. But, you
Uh-huh.
know, everyone died, so that didn't happen, so
Okay.
that's right. It's like, ugh.
So you were
What is
engaged
that?
to a high-ranking individual in a terrorist organization.
Didn't know that when I got engaged.
Oh, but you
I found
called
out
off
that
the
David-
engagement once you learned?
Well, I learned. But I also learned that the weapon was going to go off, and then I got drugged, and then I woke up, and the weapon was going off already. So,
Alright.
a lot of
So-
time to call off the engagement. So,
So when did the whole psychic weapon thing happen between all of that? Between all that. lovely
Yeah.
stuff?
I also have questions about that.
technically,
Dr. Peralta.
psychic weapon-ish thing.
So his father, their father, her father,
Ah.
Wait, whose father?
Well, I
Cam's.
didn't know
Cam's.
it was the father at first.
Wait, who else aside from Cam?
But they were Team Flare guy. That's all it is. It's my monitor. And Team Flare was just some other entity who was threatening me to do stuff for them, or they would kill my family. So I did stuff for them. And yeah, it didn't turn out that well because whole psychic weapon thing, probably, I don't really know what Dr. Reyes made me do. All I know, I woke up surrounded by a pile of dead bodies, so one moment it said, I will take control of you, you will be my scalpel to create a perfect world, and then dead bodies, so I hope it wasn't me. But Cam clearly drew a line somewhere along there and went, maybe my dad is a psychopath. Maybe I shouldn't follow him around like a puppy. I didn't think this would come up today.
Oh, trust me,
Yeah,
neither did
sorry
I.
about that.
And now
Are you
Cam
okay?
is putting a team together with the Dark Ride crew.
Mm-hmm.
And
what
two of them that
purpose?
we met have abilities.
And some sort of mission that they did not share with us.
They
They
did
are
not,
not
and
our
I tried
allies.
to get it out of them.
They are not our allies.
That's
They are
unfortunate.
allies when we get on the same page.
I just hope that they're not our enemies.
They were part of Team Flare where I was from.
That's what concerns me.
Although Charlie was nice, I think. He was going to be Cam's best man, so
I
Oh,
emailed him about possible field rations for us for our trip to Johto.
yeah, I thought those like great choices. I think they'll last the journey and cook that and candy bars and muesli bars and all that.
Do we accept anything from them? I'll leave it up to the team. I was just gonna bring it up, just slipped my mind until now.
If it'll
I think
lead,
it's important to know what they're up to.
if it'll lead back to their group, I would love to accept something from them.
No, I think in the meantime, if they're offering, yeah, we should accept.
Okay. Well, I just
I don't know
floated
what
the
they're up to, bad or good, but apparently they're off to save the world, so
or they think they are.
Mhm.
Then I guess they're in the same boat as us.
As soon as the last person goes through and the door closes, Molly will look at Chase and she'll say, "The strong ones usually aren't. And sometimes the weak are stronger than they think."
The strong weren't put here to control the world. You're put here to protect the weak. You don't have to say anymore. I agree. I'll do it.
You know what I'm asking you to do, right?
I do.
Molly will walk to a certain spot. You know which spot I'm talking about. And she says, "You're sure about this?"
I trust you. And he'll hug her.
She hugs him back and she says, "I'm scared, Ian."
That's why you got family.
I trust you too. And with that, she'll leave.